The film begins with footage of Kevin, still a little boy, peeking through a telescope through the window of his room at a girl who is undressing in the house opposite. His mother appears in the boy's room. Realizing that Kevin was spying on the girl, Mom starts scolding and humiliating the boy, saying that Kevin makes her sick. 20 years later, Kevin, who has grown up, presents his invention, the elixir of invisibility, an international symposium of physicists. Wanting to prove to everyone that the serum really works, Kevin tests it on himself, causing laughter from other scientists, and the elixir did not work and the guy remains visible. Kevin, enraged, attacks physicists and kills for scientists, which is why the guy is placed in a prison for mentally unstable criminals, from where Kevin manages to escape. After 6 months of imprisonment, dogs are sent in pursuit of the guy, but the genius easily gets rid of them. 2 more weeks later, Kevin appears as a physics teacher for high school students. The high school students do not miss the moment to laugh at the new teacher. The girls from Kevin's class are in the support group of the local school team. Kevin opens up the door to the gym watching Bunny, except that the girl has a boyfriend. Even after waiting for the end of the workout, the father asks Bunny's opinion about the new teacher. The girl thinks he's a little crazy, even the same opinion as his girlfriend, and decides to prank Kevin. Bunny goes to the shower with the others and uses the ventilation grate in the gym to spy on naked girls. Satisfying the Chad escapes its curiosity and takes its place in the grid. Kevin is the principal, catching him, but Kevin manages to come up with an excuse, returning to my cubicle. After work, Kevin worries that the students are laughing at him, even though she is trying to become a better person for everyone here in her room. Kevin continues to experiment on his miracle elixir and eventually finds the perfect formula for the invisibility serum. Kevin gives an injection to the test subjects and a rabbit that after a few seconds, it disappears right in front of the mad genius's eyes. This success further tears off the scientist's roof. Not wanting to waste time, Kevin gives himself an injection to test the serum on his body. Distraught by his superpowers, Kevin throws things around the room, and 10 minutes after the injection, the rabbit becomes visible again. Kevin marks the time during which he can be in a state of invisibility. At night, Kevin dreams of girls from his class who beckon geniuses into their arms. Waking up in a cold sweat and grabbing a tape recorder, Kevin makes a recording, believing that it was the serum that influenced his dreams so much. Remembering a conversation with the headmistress who asked to take Kevin under her wing, one of the students, a scientist, puts he's going to give himself another injection. Pulling the blanket off the girl, Kevin undresses the girl and takes her breasts. April, when she starts to move, Kevin immediately runs away. In the morning at school, until there's no one here, Kevin starts to get a kick out of it. Vicky needs a good grade in physics and she offers to earn it in a non-traditional way, but as soon as the bell rings, Vicky immediately sits down at her desk so that the rest of the students won't notice anything. Kevin hands out blank sheets to everyone, announcing that there will be a test now. While everyone is busy solving formulas, Kevin buries himself in his textbook. At exactly 10:30 all day, the class drops books on the floor, scaring Kevin. This was a prank that Chick came up with. Looking at the laughing high school students, Kevin remembers his mother, who constantly humiliated him, which makes him furious for this prank. Kevin gives everyone deuces, and at this moment on the speakerphone, Chad is called to the principal of the school. Shelly, looking at Chad's grades, begins to blackmail the guy that he can't see universities with such results, but she can help him do something for her. Meanwhile, the girls go to the shower after training and tell their girlfriends that she tried today to seduce Kevin for the sake of a good grade, but in fact considers him a complete idiot. After taking a shower, the girls go to the locker room and Vicky stays, who is watched by the janitor through the ventilation grate. Chet chases the janitor away and takes a place at the grate, spying on Vicky. A few days later, the headmistress appears in Kevin's classroom, asking him to come to her. Mrs. Shelley asks Kevin is asked leading questions about his marital status, after which he begins to approach the scientist. Frightened, Kevin wants to run away, but the headmistress does not let him do it. She takes out a syringe from her desk that she found in Kevin's classroom in his desk. The headmistress demands that the scientist leave this city, otherwise she call the police. Kevin resets the bell and begins to kiss Mrs. Shelley, saying that since elementary school, he dreamed of doing this with the headmaster, but the dreams were not exactly what Mrs. Shelley wanted. After finishing with the headmistress, Kevin returns to his classroom where the students again prepared an ambush for him. Distraught, Kevin closes all exits from the school and then gives himself an injection of invisibility into the same time in the school cafeteria. Betty is talking to her boyfriend Buba, and the couple starts kissing. But someone grabs the guy by the hand. Betty doesn't understand what's going on. Taking a sandwich from the table, Buba shoves it whole into his mouth, which causes him to suffocate. Betty rips off her blouse and the frightened girl rushes to run. At some point, Betty falls taking a fire hose. Kevin wraps it around the girl's neck after finishing off Betty, whose body her friends find. They try to leave the school, but all the exits are locked. They run to their classroom where they meet Kevin. The girls tell him that in the hallway Betty's body is lying. Kevin asks them to stay in class. Suddenly a maniac is wandering around the school, and he goes down and checks while the girls are talking. The door to the classroom opens. They hear Kevin's voice, but they don't see him. All sorts of objects start flying at the girls. Accompanied by crazy laughter, Kevin drowns one of his girlfriends in an aquarium, after which it's Vicky's turn. Meanwhile, after playing tennis with her boyfriend Gordon, the girl's boyfriend goes to take a shower and waits outside, and Kevin, in invisibility mode, takes the radio and throws it on the wet shower floor, which electrocutes Vicky. Realizing that the girl is very late in the shower, Gordon enters the women's locker room. After discovering Vika's body in her locker, at that moment he is attacked. Kevin is a scientist with an undeniable advantage. Gordon doesn't see him, so he tries to lose his invisibility. The guy goes up to the roof from where Kevin throws him off. At the same second, the bats decide to make a cupcake in Mrs. Shelley's office. After getting late, the couple is about to leave. The bats go to the women's locker room to get their things, where they find Vicky's body. After leaving the locker room, they meet with a worker who runs at them in horror as he has just discovered the body of the headmistress. Czech attacks the janitor, taking him to beat him, but Kevin intervenes in the fight. They begin to fight Czech, but then the effect of the serum ends. Kevin pulls up his pant leg and realizes that he dropped his elixir supply somewhere. Kevin attacks the child, knocks out a guy, and then cracks down on a sauna. Kevin returns to his cubicle where Chet, a scientist armed with a shotgun, appears after him, gives himself an injection, and then attacks the guy by taking Chet gives himself injections with a syringe. During their fight, police officers start knocking on the door of the room. The gun rises and a shot sounds. Breaking down the door, the cops run inside and discover the mutilated body. The police conclude that this is Kevin is the same maniac who escaped from a mental hospital. Besides, syringes are scattered everywhere in the room. The police regret that no one did this earlier and go out, and Kevin appears in the room that evening. On the news they say that Kevin drank himself, but before that he killed several students and also by the headmistress. The film ends there.